What is up, Apex Tick here, and I thought I would offer my opinions and impressions of Black Ops 3. I was going to throw some stuff up on the forums and try and get a good old Apex discussion going, but I thought hopefully a video would be a little bit more interesting than that, so here we are. Black Ops 3 has been out now for about a month or so. Well, actually, the day I'm recording this, it's been out specifically for a month. So I've been playing this game now for about 4.5, 5 weeks. I finally feel like I'm in a position to offer an informed opinion about the game. So I thought I would talk about what I like about the game, what I don't like about the game, maybe offer a couple of things that I would like to see changed about the game that I think would hopefully improve the overall experience. Then I'll throw this up on the forums and maybe we can get a good discussion going about some of the things that you guys are liking and not liking. Well, let's get right into it. In terms of positives, the one thing that really stands out for me as the big positive about this game, I love the way Black Ops 3 is feeling right now. I love the way it feels in my hands, it feels addicting, it feels fun, and I constantly want to come back and play more and more of it. Call of Duty has always been the best feeling shooter on the market. Yeah, that's the reason why people constantly flock back to the series year after year after year. It's because it just feels so damn good. Black Ops 3 is absolutely no different. This is a game that feels phenomenal in my hands. Maybe doubly so for me, because I kind of took a break from Call of Duty. I didn't really play Ghost, I didn't really play Advanced Warfare, I didn't think they were good games, they didn't really do it for me. So kind of coming back from a little bit of a hiatus, this is a nice reminder of why Call of Duty was so addicting. It's because it feels so damn good. It plays a lot like Black Ops 2 in terms of the way it feels as well, which is a good bloody thing. If some of you guys will know, if not, Black Ops 2, my favorite Call of Duty game in the series, and for this game to feel a lot like Black Ops 2 is just a really good positive for me. The game also feels very good online. It feels very consistent online, snappy, hit detection seems to be on point. I feel like I am earning the kills that I deserve, and I feel like I'm dying when I deserve to die. There's not so much of that hocus pocus bullshit where you can't really explain what the heck just happened to you in Black Ops 3, so that's really obviously a big positive. Lag issues seem minimal, lag compensation seems largely unnoticeable, and consistency is pretty high. The game is playing fairly consistent from lobby to lobby, match to match. Which are all obviously good things. No doubt helped by the fact that Treyarch seem to have made the permanent transition now to dedicated servers. Normally, when we're talking about a COD game that is kind of 3-4 weeks into its life cycle, we're talking, you know, a lot about those kind of connection issues and hit detection issues and lag, blah 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 blah. Kind of refreshing that we're not having to talk about that kind of crap this time around. To be completely honest. They've added new movement mechanics into Black Ops 3. Things like the double jumping, the wall running, and the sliding. I really like these additions to the game. I think they add something. They add a nice new mechanic. They kind of speed up the overall game as well. They're mapped really nicely to your controller, so they're very intuitive, very easy to kind of pick up and learn. But I don't think you can really talk about the movement mechanics in this game without talking about, in my opinion, the brilliant free run game mode. I'm so happy Treyarch included this in Black Ops 3. At its worst, the free run game mode is a set of progressively more difficult, more challenging parkour courses, which serve as good practice for you to learn about the movement mechanics in Black Ops 3. I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, to go in there and to try them. They'll teach you some of the moves that you can do, kind of teach you how you can string a couple of the moves together. And you just overall, you look at the maps in very different ways when you kind of understand the ability of your character's movements. At its best, though, free running is this super addicting time trial challenge where you kind of go up against yourself, you kind of go up against your friends, and see if you can post some of the better times on these courses. Some of you guys might have noticed Animal and I have been having an absolute ding-dong battle at the top of the leaderboards of a couple of these courses. He posts a good time, then I beat his time, then he beats my time, and then back and forth and back and forth. It's just a lot of fun. I know he's been pushing me, I like to think I've been pushing him too, and I think at one point, pair of us were actually sitting like top 1,000 globally on some of the courses, like the fastest 1,000 people in the world, which is just bonkers. That's just a crazy achievement. I know I was pretty proud of it. I'm sure he was pretty proud of it too. I think currently I'm the fastest man on all 4 courses in Apex, so I'm kind of proud of that too. But I want to see some of you guys kind of get on there and post some of your times and enjoy the fun, because it actually is a lot of fun. The next positive for me in Black Ops 3 are the score streaks and the way they've been balanced. For me, in my opinion, in the past, Call of Duty has always struggled to kind of nail that balance between delivering streaks that are very effective to use and properly award the player who earns them without being just super powered, just ridiculously overpowered. Selfishly, this is why I love Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 had a ton of just super powered streaks, right? The AGR, the escort drone, the Swarm, Dog, my personal favorite, the Warthog. I'm sure I'm missing some other great streaks in that game as well. There are just so many, and it was just so easy to rack up the kills if you were able to earn them. And if you're on the receiving end of some of those streaks, you were in a lot of trouble. It was very hard to fight back. Conversely, I think this is why a lot of people didn't like Ghosts or Advanced Warfare. The streaks were kind of boring. They didn't really reward the player for earning them. I think Black Ops 3 kind of nails that balance between delivering streaks that are nicely balanced and reward the player, without being kind of ridiculously overpowered and overbearing on the play of battle. So I think the balance is nice. I know Treyarch are kind of flirting with the idea of possibly bumping some of these streaks in a future patch or update. If they feel that's necessary, then fine. I just really hope that they find a way to maintain the balance that I think they've perfected in this game so far. The other real positive for me is the XP curve and level grind in Black Ops 3. In this regard, Black Ops 3 is a game that respects my time. I think it understands that I am a person with a life. I use life in air quotations, but I'm a person with a life. It understands that I am a gamer with other games to play, and as a result, it rewards me when I do decide to pick up and play Black Ops 3. I'm currently Prestige 3, and I think I'm like a few games away from Prestige for a 4th time. And I've gotten to this point just by putting hours in here or there. Like, I'm not having to put silly hours in, I'm not having to overextend myself or do anything silly just to kind of level up. I'm just kind of putting hours in when I can, and the game is rewarding me by letting me level up at a very fair rate. I'm also playing Star Wars Battlefront right now, and that is a good example of a game that does the opposite. That is a game that does not respect my time. That is a game that doesn't reward my time. It is a game that is just ridiculously difficult for you to level up, and kind of creates this artificial kind of barrier to ranking up and earning things. Black Ops 3 doesn't really do that. I feel like anytime I put in some time, regardless of how little or how much time, the game is rewarding me. And that is a really good thing. Final positive for me, the one thing that really stands out for me are the map designs in Black Ops 3. This is amongst the best set of maps that we've received in Call of Duty's history. And a lot of that is because it borrows from Treyarch's classic kind of design philosophy of having maps that are these 3-lane designs, right? This left lane, a middle lane, and a right lane. A lot of the maps in this game follow this design philosophy of having a very distinct, almost a mini-map within a full map, of a left lane, middle lane, and a right lane, where you have these very specific crossover points between these lanes. Normally, like, the big one is in the middle, where your classic B domination flag would be. And the reason why this map works is because it just allows things to flow. When you have two teams spawning on other ends of the map, and you have these 3 distinct lanes that kind of push everyone into the middle, it creates a really nice flow. And when Call of Duty maps flow, maps are predictable. And when maps are predictable, Call of Duty is predictable. And when Call of Duty is predictable, Call of Duty is fun. And I think that's one of the reasons why Call of Duty is so much fun right now, is because it's very predictable to play. Conversely, I think this is one of the reasons why Advanced Warfare received a lot of criticism, is because it wasn't very predictable with their map design and things like their spawns and their movement mechanics. When you have maps that play predictably and a game that plays predictably, I think the game plays a lot of fun. And I think Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is a lot of fun. Not all the maps are great though. There are some duds in this game. The one that comes to mind is Redwood or Deadwood. The less said about the game, the better. If I had to summarize that map in 3 words, absolute fucking AIDS. Absolute fucking AIDS. Speaking of AIDS, let's move on to some things that I don't like. I talk about what I like. I like the feel of the game, the movement, the score streak balance, the XP curve, and the overall map design. There are a couple things in Black Ops 3 that I'm not a fan of, though. Starting with the time to kill. This is a very fast killing game, meaning you kill really, really fast. This also means you die really, really fast as well. Any mistake you make in Black Ops 3 will result in your death. I've always preferred the Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3 era Call of Duty games with how they did their time to kill. Those games, you had to essentially put an extra bullet or 2 into your character to kill them, compared to now. And the reason why I liked that was twofold. One, it meant you could take a little bit more damage, so if you ended up making a mistake, like failed to check a corner, or ran into the open too quickly, or something like that, you had the ability to sometimes, not always, but sometimes, to retreat. Kind of pull back into cover to run away. Maybe 1 in every 10 or 1 in every 15. This would actually work for you, and that was good, right? When you have the ability to retreat, you play a lot more aggressively, and that's why I think in Black Ops 3, some game modes like TDM, they play so slowly right now, because everyone is afraid of making that mistake and dying. I think the other benefit of having a game that has a slightly higher time to kill is it rewards those players that are able to, be accurate with the weapon, to be able to manage weapon recoil, to be able to manage weapon flinch, sorry, and bullet deviation, and all these other various different gun mechanics. And it kind of creates this artificial skill gap between the players who can control the weapons and between the players who can't control their weapons. And the players who want to get better at the game. And for me, Call of Duty is always being about creating that kind of natural difference, that natural sort of skill gap, and letting those players who maybe aren't as good to try and improve. Half the fun and enjoyment of a Call of Duty game is improving and learning about the game. So time to kill for me is a little bit too fast in Black Ops 3. The other big issues for me are all of the issues that are related to servers, lobbies, and matchmaking. Black Ops 3 has a nice social system, lets you see all of your friends, lets you see which ones are playing Call of Duty, and lets you see which ones are playing together and what game modes they're playing. And it has a couple of nice features, like the ability to send invites to your friends, except the invite mechanic rarely ever works. More often than not, you're going to get a game invite failed message. The social hub also has the ability for you to join on your friends. Again, more often than not, though, this function is not going to work. If you're trying to join a group of 5 friends, you're going to have to go through all 5 of your friends and find that one arbitrary friend that the game decides is going to be the one that you are allowed to spawn on. For no rhyme or reason. It's just that one. Additionally, when you are finally able to get into a full group of 6 or a group of 9, whatever you guys are doing, you're often plagued by people dropping out of your lobby just for no reason, and then you have to kind of go through the pain of getting them all back together again. And then finally, on top of all of that, when you kind of get through all those problems and you get together and you get into matchmaking, you're not always guaranteed these fair and open servers, right? Your 6v6 servers sometimes turn into 7 versus 5 or 7 versus 6. I think one night we ended up in a domination round, a 6v6 domination one, which turned into like an 8 versus 3, which is just crazy. That kind of stuff should not be happening for a game where the development team had like 3 full years of development to work on it. If this is Treyarch's kind of teething pains, growing pains as they kind of come to terms with dedicated servers, fine, I think we can be a little bit lenient. This is something that they really need to kind of fix pretty quickly because it is pretty bothersome to the overall Call of Duty experience. The next negative for me, and I'm kind of put it like an asterisk around this one because I'm not fully sure how I feel about it. I feel like I might change my mind, but right now, I'm not a big fan of the specialists. Don't get me wrong, I, just like anybody else, got super excited when my specialist bar is about to get filled up, so I'm ready to unleash whatever weapon or ability my character has, but I just don't know what the specialists offer the overall Call of Duty experience in a positive way. Right now, it just kind of feels like an unearned handout. And the problem with it being an unearned handout, something that everybody gets without really having to earn them, is that they're far too powerful. There's too many of those one-hit kill specialist weapons in this game. Whether it's the Sparrow Bow, the Tempest Charge Rifle, the Annihilator Pistol, the Grenade Launcher, the Flamethrower, the gosh darn Gravity Spikes, there's just so many of them. Gravity Spikes should not be in this game. They were horrible in Destiny, they didn't work in that game. They have the Ground Pound, obviously, and then to have something similar to that in Black Ops 3 is just stupidity of the highest order, in my opinion. No player should be able to clear out an objective with a simple push of a button with an ability that they didn't have to earn. That is just ridiculous as poor game design. I'm not a fan of the specialists in this game right now at all. I just don't know how they improve the overall experience other than, again, leading to a more casual experience, a more casual game. I don't want Black Ops 3 to be a casual game, to be completely honest. I think specialists kind of lead to a more casual playing field. Final negative for me has to be Nuketown. I don't know why this map is in the game again. Actually, I do know. I take that back. It's there because of 2 reasons. 1, Treyarch wanted to capitalize on nostalgia, and 2, because Treyarch wanted to deliver a more close quarters map experience. Problem with the close quarters map stuff is that Combine is in the game, and for me, Combine does close quarters in a way that Nuketown doesn't. Because Combine is fun and intelligent and intriguing, and Nuketown is not those things. If you wanted to remake Nuketown, actually remake Nuketown. Don't give us a reskin, which is what we have now. Nuketown currently is just a simple reskin. All of the exploitative lines of sight are still in the game. All of the I dropped a 50 bomb on Nuketown Domination the other day by using the same head glitch, the clipping spot on B-Dom, that I've been using for the past 2 or 3 years that we've had Nuketown in Call of Duty. All of the exploitative and the manipulative lines of sight where you can look straight down into an enemy spawn and literally see people spawning out of thin air and kill them as before they're even able to move 2 or 3 feet, those are still in the game. why not redesign the map so you eliminate some of those issues? Why not redesign the map so you open up the street? Or if you're trying to capitalize on nostalgia, give us some maps from Black Ops 2 that aren't Nuketown. Black Ops 2 had some phenomenal maps. Turbine was a brilliant map. Standoff was a map that we always voted for when it came up in the rotation. And of course, my personal favorite map, if this wasn't the best map in Call of Duty history, it's certainly top 5, Raid. If Raid on this game with the movement mechanics, how fun of a map would that be? I think they've dropped the ball with Nuketown, and right now it's not that big of a deal because Nuketown is kind of stuck in its own playlist. But mark my word, Nuketown is going to be in the public playlist for everybody to download in just a couple of weeks or months. It'll be there. It always is, and it's going to be super frustrating. But anyway, that's the list of things I don't really like. I'm not a fan of the time to kill. All the server, lobby, and matchmaking issues are pretty problematic right now. Specialist, I'm not really a fan, and I would have done a lot of other maps before I even consider bringing Nuketown back in to Black Ops 3. But let's spend the rest of this video talking about a couple of changes that I'd like to see happen in Black Ops 3 to hopefully improve the overall experience moving forward. Starting with weapon balance. So the game's been out now for about a month, and already you're beginning to see some weapons kind of rise to the top of their class as being kind of out of tier or overpowered. I know they've had a weapon patch already in patch 1 that has kind of tried to address this, but it was a very conservative patch, which is kind of the modus operandi for Treyarch. They're very conservative when it comes to their weapon patches and balancing, which is something that I really want to see them improve on. If you go back to Black Ops 1, it took them forever to figure out how to properly patch the FAMAS and the AKS-74U. If you go back to Black Ops 2, it took them forever to figure out how to patch things like the PDW. You speak to people who still play Black Ops 2, they'll probably still complain about the DSM. I want to see Treyarch be a lot more aggressive with their weapon patching. And while you're at it, buff some of the weapons that need a little bit more love, right? The Weevil is badly underpowered right now. The XR2 badly underpowered right now. But only the Man of War is a good gun either. Start giving some of the weapons that aren't all that great a little bit of love as well. The next thing I'd like to see added to the game is the ability to share things like your emblems, your player cards, and your paint jobs. This was a feature that they promised before the beta, and the rough-in for the future is in the base game as well as it was in the beta as well. So I'm not really sure what happened to it. I'm not really sure where it's gone, why it's not in the game anymore. But I'd love to see it come back into the game. It's nice to be able to create something cool, whether it be like a paint job or an emblem, and share that with some of your friends. Like, that is a cool thing to do. Or if you're like me and you have the creative ability of like a quadriplegic mouse, then sometimes you just need to be able to look at some of your friends' content and steal it and pass it off as your own. So Pope, you've been warned, fair play. Your Deadpool is going to belong to me soon. If and when this feature kind of eventually gets back into the game. I think it belongs in the game. I want to see it in the game. Final thing I would like to see in Black Ops 3 is the introduction of wager matches. We had wager matches in Black Ops 1, and in Black Ops 1 it was used for COD points, which directly influenced your sort of multiplayer experience, right? You used your COD points to unlock things like weapons, perks, attachments, kill streaks. In Black Ops 3, our currency is the crypto key, and the crypto key doesn't actually influence any of that. Crypto keys are purely cosmetic, purely aesthetic, and then a couple of behavioral things. I would love to see wager matches come into Black Ops 3 for crypto keys. I think that would be just a phenomenal way to earn more crypto keys so that you can start opening some of these supply drops at a faster rate. And I think you could even spice it up by doing things like adding in unlock tokens. If you're worried about breaking the prestige system, maybe have early unlock tokens. Imagine you just prestige and you want to unlock, say, the M8 or Ghost or something like that, but you've already used your permanent unlock token. How about throwing some of your crypto keys on the line and trying to earn an early unlock token? I think that would be just a ton of fun to do. I really think wager matches would improve. So I want to see wager matches in here. I want to see the ability to share your stuff with other friends back in the game. And I also want Treyarch to be a lot more aggressive with their weapon balancing. But overall, that's pretty much it for my thoughts on Black Ops 3. I'm really enjoying the game so far. It kind of feels like it's the Call of Duty game that is dragging the veterans back to the series. I consider myself a Call of Duty veteran. I consider myself one that has played a lot of the Call of Duty games before. And as someone who's been jaded by the series, I'm really glad that we have a game that is not only fun, but is engaging and is interesting as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to throw this up on the Apex forums. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about Black Ops 3 so far. Let me know what you guys like. Let me know what you guys don't like. And until then, I will catch you guys online. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.